The Rolex versus Omega debate is a long-standing rivalry that has been around for years. Watch lovers have found themselves arguing which one of these horological behemoths has the edge. Rolex and Omega are the two most prominent Swiss watch brands in the world, and they're reputed to enjoy rank, recognition, and respect. Perhaps there's an existing difference between these two brands and something that makes them distinct from the rest. In this video, we'll break down the differences as well as the similarities of the two biggest players in the watch industry. Which of the two horological giants has the edge, and who will you side with? It surprises some people to know that Omega was founded before Rolex. While Rolex was founded in 1905, Omega had its humble beginnings in 1848 in the form of a young assembler by the name of Louis Brandt. Omega was founded in the mid-19th century with its original name, Louis Brandt et Fils. 1903 welcomed the adoption of the company's new name, Omega. The brand Omega had gone over 50 years before Hans Wilsdorf's Rolex came in 1905. However, through Rolex's collective focus on its movement's accuracy, it did not take long before it became a worthy competitor. Rolex became the first wristwatch in the world to receive the Swiss Certificate of Chronometric Precision. 1927 had Rolex's watch-resistant qualities tested and proven when a Rolex swam for 10 hours across the English Channel on Mercedes Glitz's wrist. The watch came out of the sea in perfect working order and became reputed for superior water resistance. Although Rolex and Omega manufacture excellent divers watches with outstanding water resistance, Rolex seems to have taken the extra mile. While the Omega Seamaster Pro Proof 1200 meters has a water resistance of 4,000 feet, the Rolex Deep Sea series boasts over 12,000 feet of water resistance. Omega has the honor and accolade of accuracy, which it still maintains today. This accuracy dates back to 1932, when the brand provided a timekeeper and 30 high-precision chronographs. It became the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games. So when we talk about the game of accuracy, Omega has the upper hand, as they don't just produce mechanical watches, but many quartz watches as well. And while quartz watches outdo their mechanical counterparts in accuracy, the Rolex brand has chosen to depend on mechanical marvels. These two brands have also succeeded in maintaining a close relationship with the sports world, but the Rolex brand connection with the world of sports seems stronger. Its sporting connection is strongest in the areas of diving, motorsport, mountaineering, and yachting. The famous Daytona has duly represented Rolex's connection with motoring, as Sir Malcolm sat behind the wheel of Bluebird. 1935 had one of the fastest drivers in the world set out on a quest for speed with a Rolex wristwatch on his hand as he set a land speed record of over 300 miles per hour. And as such, this union between Rolex and racing continues today, as Rolex has been a global partner and the official timekeeper of Formula One since 2012. Despite all of Rolex's remarkable feats in the 20th century, Omega has succeeded in beating Rolex to the accolade of being the first watch on the moon. Buzz Aldrin had worn the Omega Speedmaster on the 1969 moon landing. Thus, the brand forever connects with NASA's epic and momentous leap for mankind. Talking about brand and reputation, Rolex has carved an edge for itself over Omega. Despite the notable history of the Omega brand, it comes nowhere near the strength of the Rolex brand. Rolex has not only earned the title of the most well-known luxury watch brand, but has also been ranked as the #1 most reputable brand in the world in 2019 by the Reputation Institute. Rolex has built a brand of strength, ranging from a well-known exclusivity to ubiquitous recognition. They have never ceased to produce exclusive and high-quality luxury watches, despite the frequency of demand and regular forgery of their watches. Their reputation has never been questioned. However, one bond that has been shared by these two brands is on the wrist of Agent 007, James Bond. After 30 years of allegiance to the Rolex brand, Agent 007 was seen wearing an Omega Seamaster ever since the 1995 GoldenEye. The Rolex association with various celebrity wearers has also benefited the brand's reputation. Rolex had named Daytona models after the Hollywood icon Paul Newman, who wore his personal Rolex Daytona every day for 15 years. This sail watch was bought in 2017 for $17.8 million at an auction. It's no wonder the Rolex allure has spread like wildfire, as it has sat on the wrists of several icons like Dr. Martin Luther King, Steve McQueen, and Warren Buffett. In the space of innovation, both brands can be considered to be perfect rivals. Although the quartz crisis did not serve either brand well, each brand has tried to be consistent in the innovation and development of its technology. While Rolex did not get involved with quartz watches, Omega, on the other hand, fully embraced quartz and got their buyers confused. The confusion was due to Omega's unrestrained release of a wide range of models, as opposed to Rolex's conservative approach. Rolex was able to retain its respect by never having to compromise the integrity of its product range. They took caution in introducing additional technological advancements. Both Rolex and Omega have been able to make anti-magnetic watches. While Rolex has the Milgauss, which has a magnetic resistance of up to 1,000 Gauss, Omega utilizes sophisticated coaxial calibers. This implies that Omega has its watch tested and certified by Metas for many things, which has a magnetic exposure of up to 15,000 Gauss, which is 15 times more efficient than the Rolex Milgauss. However, both have been able to tackle electromagnetic frequency, which interferes with the accuracy of mechanical watches. In recent years, Rolex has distinguished itself by using a special kind of steel called 904L. This steel was forged in the brand's in-house foundry and functions as superior resistance to corrosion, rust, and scratches. Models of the Rolex brand, such as the Submariner and Daytona, make use of the Rolex patented ceramic material, Cerachrome, on their bezels. This offers a beautiful luster and resists scratches and fading. The type of metal Omega uses on its Speedy is not known to the public, but it most likely uses 316L steel, which is a less expensive metal and easier to utilize. While Rolex opts for the 18-karat white gold for its handset, Omega uses steel. The surrounds for the hour markers of the Rolex are crafted in 18-karat gold to add a touch of luxury and to prevent rust and corrosion. This polished gold touch on Rolex models gives them an overall appearance of radiance. Undoubtedly, Rolex watches are more expensive than Omega watches when looking at different models of both brands that can be compared. However, limited access to the special edition of the Rolex timepieces has made Omega famous for their comparatively superior accessibility of their flagship watch models. Any watch lover or collector who has visited a Rolex store in recent years will observe or encounter the absence of stainless steel sports models of the Rolex brand. As such, when we talk of availability and pricing, the Omega watch market is more open to a larger audience than its competitor. However, individuals should note that Rolex watches predominantly hold their market value better than Omega watches. So, unlike their competitor, most Omega watches in the secondary market may not sell for more than their original retail price. A pre-owned Rolex wristwatch will sell quickly at a higher price in the secondary market. Many Rolex timepieces increase in value right after you purchase them. The market demand is so high that people are willing to pay heavily to move up the endless waiting list. So, while there might not be any tendency for you to sell watches you own from any of these brands, you can be sure that a Rolex resale value will profit you more than an Omega. These two brands are universally acknowledged, recognized, and respected. While one is reasonably priced and possesses a legacy that transcends our globe, the other ranks top in luxury, price, and ubiquitous wrist presence on famous and iconic wrists. Indeed, these two titans have come a long way as competitors in various areas of recognition, reputation, resistance, brand strength, availability, price, and technological advancements. You could spend all day trying to argue the pros and cons of Rolex and Omega, but at the end of the day, both have their own distinctive qualities and identity. And we're pretty sure that you've already made your choice.